As this is me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who might like it as well. If you would like to become one of my patrons, please check out my Patreon page. The link is going to be underneath this video. Okay? Alright guys, let's talk about something that's really important. One of the things that happens whenever I'm doing readings, whenever I'm having conversations with friends or family, whenever I'm talking to anybody about anything, is I notice that many of us, including myself, have made some very questionable decisions. Everything that goes wrong in your life is because of a decision that you or someone else made. Most of the time it's you though. So whenever some shit blow up, it's usually because you made a bad decision or didn't make a decision sometimes. It depends. So one of the things I've come to find is that when I make the best decisions is when I follow what I'm getting ready to talk to you about. When I make the worst decisions is when I don't. So I thought maybe if I told you guys about this, you could use it yourself and maybe it could be helpful. Okay? All right. So when you have a decision to make about anything, about your relationship, about your money, about your family, you generally sometimes may ask other people, and then you'll go through your own internal process. Your internal process goes on inside of you, and it goes on primarily in three different places. It goes on up here, your mind, your logic, your intellect, your memories, your experiences, all that is in the brain. Then you also have in the heart. Some decisions you feel strongly in the heart or not. And then other decisions come from the gut. The gut is basically the area behind your navel. Now, according to the ancient Egyptians, your soul is located behind your navel at the base of your spine. According to Hindu mythology, that's also where the Kundalini is. Now, both of these theories, and there may be other ones from other cultures as well, all say that your soul, that area, your soul, your Kundalini, whatever that is your spirit and is linked to everything else that's going on in your aura. But everybody tells you that that is linked to God. It's linked to the angels. It's linked to your ancestors. That area, that gut, is linked to your intuition is what that gut is. And that intuition is linked to divinity. It is linked to, like I said, your ancestors. It's linked to all those things. Your head and your heart are limited because they're only really linked to your physical body. So if you're listening to your own brain, what you're listening to is the experiences that you've had or the experiences that you've been told about or the logical sequences that you can come up with your computer because the brain is basically a computer. So that's all you have is what it can come up with. But your gut is connected to the source creator. Your gut is connected to everything, all that is. So it's not just this limited space and your little limited human experiences, and in the heart too. The heart is limited to what you felt on this plane in this body, what you've been through emotionally. So those things are very powerful. They're very strong, but they're still limited to just your situation and your scope of focus, your point of view. The gut is tapped into what is real, what is true, what is beyond you. You see? So every time I make the best decisions, it's when I go with my gut instinct. And it's not always easy to tell which one of the three it is. Because sometimes, even in our popular culture, even in our speech, we mix them up. Sometimes you'll tell somebody, follow your heart. But what you really mean is follow your gut. Because their heart is going to be soft and get them back into the same situation that they shouldn't be in the first place. And some people rely only on their intellect. But then they're discounting emotion. They're discounting their feelings. All they're thinking about is what makes logical sense. But some of the times what makes logical sense isn't what is it's not what you're feeling. It's not what's in your heart. And some of the times, even though it's logically sensible, it's also not the best thing for everybody involved. And your gut is tied to the best thing for everybody involved. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys, because I noticed that when I make the best decisions, it's when I go with my gut instinct. Cops even tell you this. Detectives tell you this. All kinds of people who were into like mysteries and figuring things out and investigations and things like that, they will tell you follow your gut instinct. Now, the first thing you have to do to use this is you have to differentiate between the three. You have to know when it's coming from your head, when it's coming from your heart, and when it's coming from your soul. If you could tell the difference between the three, because remember, they are different vibrationally. So if you can get quiet, if you can meditate, if you can get still, and your internal process, try to figure out where is the information coming from. So, for example, you're in a bad relationship and you know that it's time to walk away, or you feel that it might be time to walk away. That's what your gut is telling you. Your mind is saying, girl, you broke. You got to stay in this situation until you get your money right. If you leave right now, you're going to be in the shelter, or you're going to be in a worse situation. And then your heart is telling you, I really love him. I really love her. I don't want to leave. I want to work this out. So you got three different things going on simultaneously, and you got to figure out the difference between the three. And if you can do that, and at first you'll probably mess it up, because I always messed it up in the beginning. But if you can do that, if you can differentiate between the three and figure out which one is connected to spirit, and follow that one, either through like praying on it or meditating on it or really focusing on it. If you can figure out which one that is and follow that one, that's the one that'll take you to the right place every time. The other ones have you tripped up. That heart will have you tripped up. That heart has had me tripped up so many times. And I guarantee you could tell me in the comment section, I bet you a lot of you have gotten tripped up by your heart as well. Likewise, your head, as logical and as smart as it may be, can think you into the worst predicament, or give you what I call analysis paralysis, where you analyzing so much and so long, you don't know what to do. You done confused yourself. And you're just paralyzed, so you just don't do anything at all. And whatever happens, like you're part of the situation, but you're not really reacting to the situation. It's kind of just happening to you. So your head and your heart will screw you up. But if you can tap into your gut, your ancestors will tell you which way to go. If you can tap into your gut, you might feel the angels nudging you. If you can tap into your gut, you'll go the right way. Even when it's hurtful, even when it's painful. Because some of the times my gut tells me the harder thing to do or the more painful thing to do. But it's always the right thing to do. Okay? The gut is never wrong. The head and the heart, hit or miss. Sometimes they are right, but the gut is never wrong. Anytime I tap into it and I follow it, even if I don't want to do it, even if I'm like, that's the hard way. But if I do it, I always get the right result. So for those of you out there, I get a lot of messages from young people. I get a lot of messages from people who are confused because their heart got them tripped up. I get a lot of messages from Aquarius who have turned off their emotions and are just working from their brain, and they're wondering why things aren't going right. And I just want to put out there, if you can just listen, find your intuitive voice, find that, and listen to that and go with that, I will bet you money that it will actually go better than you just stabbing around in the dark with your limited experiences. Okay? All right, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later. Likewise, I meant to tell you that all of my information will be underneath this video, and if you want to get in contact with me, please do. If you would like a reading, email me and I will give you an appointment, or hit me up on social media. All right, guys. See you later.